and welcome to this second Totally Teal podcast in our series of conversations about Teal, or Next Stage Organisational Thinking. During our first podcast, we took the opportunity to introduce ourselves. Now it's time to get stuck into some of the thinking around Next Stage Organisational Development. Hence, this podcast is called The Case for Change, and Giles is going to kick us off.
The Case for Change. A new norm emerging from the 20th century into the 21st century that requires a new kind of organisation. What a fascinating yet challenging time to be a leader. There's so much changing, and at such pace. What we now face is a new norm on so many levels, a new business context that demands a new kind of organisation.
You know, you're right, Giles. For years now, so as coaches, we've been experiencing the world of work in, well, in my words, a frustrating manner. We've been patching people up and teams and putting them back into a workplace that is effectively part of a fundamentally broken system. And there hasn't been, up until now, any real alternative. But that is now changing, and there is a new operating system available to us, which offers a significantly different way of working. Now, what I'm seeing, and I know you and Sarah are seeing, that this leads to significantly improved performances. And crucially, it does result in a more fulfilled, energised and empowered way of experiencing the workplace. That system is known as Teal thinking, or next generation thinking is a term that I think most people seem to prefer. This is, if you like, the new Mac, a real alternative in place of the old PC. And all based on three very simple principles. Get clear on purpose, support the whole person, and really embrace self-management. And more of that later.
I love what you were saying there about kind of moving from the old PC to the new Mac. It is actually as almost as if we need to upgrade the very operating system that we've been working on for so long to a completely and fundamentally different one which has a functionality more closely attuned and able to respond to the demands that are being placed on organisations today. So if I was to come back to your point, Chris, the point you made earlier, you know, the kinds of recurrent, intractable problems we see in working with leaders in the coaching suite every day, overwhelm, stress, frustration, and whilst being enormously significant in their own right, we believe are actually only symptoms of the underlying broken system.
Yep, I agree, Sarah. There's a fundamental shift going on, really, from a business paradigm that's rooted in a scientific management theory that served us well in the industrial era, a certain reductive and mechanistic logic that sees the organisation as a machine that, quite frankly, has had its day. It's well beyond its sell-by date. A new logic is now coming through, and I remember the famous quote, really, from the management guru Peter Drucker, who said that in times of turmoil, the danger lies not in the turmoil itself, but in facing it with yesterday's logic.
What a great quote. And I always, you know, when I think about this problem, I do find it very useful to try and understand why we are where we are now. Why are we in such of a desperate need of a complete rethink on how we work and do business that helps us see not only the root cause of the problems, but also helps clearly signpost the way to what we need to do to solve the problem. You know, I mean, let's face it, I think we'd all agree that businesses, or many businesses, are at breaking point because the structure and the systems which underpin the way we work are inflexible. They lack responsiveness and they lack pace. And we also know that in order to succeed going forward as organisations, we need to lead our businesses toward greater agility. We need to bring about for ourselves and our organisations a completely new way of leading for a new kind of world.
Thanks, Sarah. So I hope you've enjoyed this discussion examining the case for change. And if you'd like to explore more of our Totally Teal conversations, then please do subscribe by clicking the button on our Totally Teal channel on Podbean. In the meantime, I look forward to meeting you at our next Totally Teal podcast, where we'll explore the shift from machine to living system. Bye for now.